Next on our list is Plundercats. It is a space adventure comic with cat people. It's about a bunch of space cats that are on this ship, and I'm assuming they steal things and plunder like space pirates. They learn of a mission via their enemy, that there is a mission whose reward is having all of their crimes forgiven past and future, which I don't know how that would work. I guess if you rob a bank and then they arrest you and they're like, oh wait, it's those people that won that thing, we can't arrest them, and then they just let them go. Do they take the money back? I don't know, but I thought that was pretty funny. So in the beginning, we're just chilling on the ship and it's fixing stuff, and they go into the meeting room or whatever the room is where there's a big giant screen where they get calls from. You know what I'm talking about. In space movies, there's always a big control room with a screen in it. And they learn about the mission. So it turns out that there's this job to sell a painting and deliver it to a client. One of the characters, Fernan, I think is how you say it, he is selling the painting that he stole to someone else. And upon first read, I didn't understand why they were freaking out when they lost Alfie. Alfie is Fernand's brother. They lost her in the crate that has the painting in it as they're selling it. Because he seemed like a reasonable guy to me beforehand. He does charity. He's a responsible business owner. He communicates his feelings openly. And so upon reread, I realized that there's a speech bubble when Eno is freaking out, and it says that they turned her over to their worst enemy. But I'm like, how do you know that? When did we learn about the worst enemy part? I thought the client was anonymous. There was a panel with a ship in it that could have been the enemy ship, but I don't know whose ship that is, and Eno didn't react to seeing the ship, so I assumed that that was an environment scene change, like he switched ships and went back home or something. We're introduced to a lot of characters in the beginning. The interactions are good, and I felt like I got a good grasp of everyone's personalities. It would have been nice if we had started the cats out on their own mission first, just total autonomy before getting to this life-changing deal that was thrown in their face, because I was under the impression that they enjoyed this life and they just didn't want to be criminals. After all, nobody likes going to jail or almost going to jail. But after the kitchen cube scene, they're eating and they're dining on these cubed meat things that look disgusting, absolutely tasteless. And so now I'm like, oh, I want to know what your dreams are. What were you doing before this? Were you an orphan? Were you forced into a life of crime together? I just feel like for me, seeing them in their natural environment, in their natural place in the team, what do they bring to the mission? Is it difficult for them? Do they have second thoughts ever? Do they want to go home? Do they miss their mommy? Those are just all things that I want to know. As I said earlier, the main focus character looks to be the mechanic, Eno, since they're the odd one out. Technically not a criminal yet. All the other characters have a bounty on their head, and doesn't read as goofy traits-wise, personality-wise. I wish I knew the ranking on the ship. I was unsure of their roles in the team. They could all be equal, like a band of friends. But after Alfie got stuck in the crate and went missing, Eno freaks out and is like, don't tell Fern. And so I'm like, is he mean? Is he a mean leader? Is he the leader? Does he have anger issues? So far, everyone was chill, like friends. So like, is there an issue here? Why is this a problem? Why wouldn't you just tell him? Because he seems chill. And then later we also learn, Eno makes a comment. It says like, this is my ship. And I'm like, it's your ship. You own the ship or you bought the ship? Did you guys steal the ship? No, I don't think they stole it. But if this is your ship, why are you not the captain? What is this group dynamic? Now, I was unfortunately informed by the author of Plundercats that this has not been finished, but there's still around 80 updates to read if you like space cat people, which is enough to binge, really. But there is some good news because Linky Cat has another comic with people who are animals. It's called Personal Space, and it's a sci-fi drama about this duo who is also wanted running around the galaxy. Onto the author's second comic. This is the comic that's currently updating. They said that they were not interested in continuing making the Plundercats. So we're on to Personal Space now. Personal Space is another sci-fi adventure. I don't know if it's fantasy. I think there's a little bit of fantasy because they're shooting, the main character shoots like lightning magic pink stuff out of their hands, and they're also cats, and people aren't cats. Well, I guess aliens could be cats. Alien cat people. Anyway, the paneling for this The paneling for the story is pretty cool. It's not very dialogue heavy, at least in the beginning, the parts I'm at. It's not very heavy dialogue focused. It's more about the sequence of events and the actions that are taking place. So you have to take your time and pay attention to details. And as a result, the paneling is also very layered. So every time you scroll, there's a new image to take in and analyze. So I thought that was pretty cool. Plundercats seem very dialogue heavy, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a different approach to storytelling. I really like the characters' dynamics for this new story, Mina and Tyls. Tyls seems like they've been around the block for a bit. She's been running in the game. She's confident, has her own ship, seems pretty anti-establishment, did not hesitate to lie to the cops at all. And Mina, by comparison, is more pulled back, docile, I guess. I mean, you would be too if you were on the run and you didn't know who to trust, but you know, that opposites attract type thing, opposite dynamics. I really enjoy those in stories. I feel like the character introductions were stronger this time around in Plundercats, because there were so many people we had to get to know at one time within the span of a few chapters. It was slightly more chaotic, so I had more difficulty connecting to them. I'm one of those people who wants to get to know everyone like one thing at a time. And I'm sure in this we will also get up to a bigger cast, but for now it's just them two and it's really cozy and nice. And guys, if you are looking for space violence, you want to see some battles in outer space, this is the comic for you. We've got guns, we've got lasers, we got ship beams, we have explosions, killer robots, killer security robots, and that's all you really want, right? I do find the main character's story to be compelling so far. Their backstory. We don't have the backstory yet, but just knowing that she was an experiment, ran away, has full control of her abilities, it seems like, and is comfortable using them. It doesn't give the feeling that she's afraid of herself, even though it looks really painful. And she also has a personality, which is great. You know, sometimes when they do experimentation plot lines, the character ends up being like stripped back and like emotionless, which can work. I love that. It's one of my favorite tropes. But it's also nice to see when they're like reacting to their environment, which she did very well in this when Tyls was showing her the ship and everything's all run down, kind of grody and rigged up with tape and stuff. She looked absolutely disgusted, afraid of danger, and I would be too. Like, I have to live here now. I guess it's better than being in a lab, being a lab rat. All right, this works too. Anyways, if you like sci-fi fantasy and you like cats or you're a furry, go read Personal Space because it's beautiful, full of soft lighting, and it's in full color, so you really have no excuse to not like it. See you guys later.